Hey everyone! Today we are taking a look at World of Kings and Flashback, and this is found under the dungeon menu and event. And there are 3 dungeons that you can run over the course of the week. You need to make a group for this, and you can see here that you run one of each of the dungeons and you get rewards for each of them. So you do this 3 times. It's reset weekly, and the next week it will go to a new set of dungeons. But it also changes your class to the classes specified at the bottom. And there's various loots for the temples and for your totems. So this is a good thing to run if you can get a group for it. And it's kind of interesting because you go through with the classes changed. It is an Overlord version of the dungeons, but it's very interesting because they took out a lot of the mobs, so you only have a few mobs to play with. Now, the problem here is that if you look at the window above, it shows that it keeps saying that the current class can't use that skill. This is a very buggy system right now. Hopefully they'll fix it. Most of our guys couldn't even use the skills because it didn't switch us to the correct class. So there is a way around this bug if you get it. The first way is to make a group of just the classes that can go in. So you're not actually switching classes when you go inside. You're already of the classes that you need to be. So here I switched over to Templar because it was a day for tanks to be Templars. And we had the healer switch to a Saint and the others switch to Frost Whisperer. That way when we all went in, we already had the classes so with these skills that were alright. This is a bit of a pain because you have to then get a group that actually has those classes available. And not really great for trying out new classes, which is something that I think is really cool about this new feature. The second way to get around the bug, which I like better, is that you make a normal group of whatever classes you want. When you're inside the dungeon, you can see here I was still a Dragon Rider. You clear out and relog the game when you're still inside the dungeon. You have to be inside the dungeon when you do this or it does not work. Then when you log back in, it should be on the class that is the correct one for that dungeon. Here it switched me to Templar after I relogged. Now, I have heard that sometimes you have to do it once or twice. However, when we were running both times, it switched over to the correct class right away. So hopefully you should only need to relog once. After that, you should be all set to run these. The dungeons are just the normal mechanics that you would get when you run these dungeons. There's nothing overly special other than the fact that it does change your gear levels to all the same gear level. I noticed mine went down while others went up. I think 410 is about the gear level of the DPS. However, you still do have other things that factor in because some people, even with all the same gear level, are having higher DPS than others. So your DPS score still does matter as far as probably your rate and what you have as far as the different abilities like your totems and your temples and things like that. But the gear score does all go to some sort of normalized amount. I would also like to try switching to a DPS and queuing into this, even though I don't have anything really set up for DPS. But it would be pretty cool to be able to try out DPS skills and a DPS class before trying to unlock one. So this is a great way, I think, to try out other classes and see what things are like. Alright, hopefully they get this bug fixed soon, but at least in the meantime you can still try out this new feature and get the rewards for it. Don't forget to run one of each dungeon during the week and go ahead and come back the following week and try again. You're watching VGO40 and this is VGO Girl, and we will see you next time in World of Kings.